Hey, welcome back to my channel. I'm Kelly Levine, the Closet Coach. I help professional organizers, designers, and extremely talented DIYers design custom closets just like the pros. Um, so today, if this is your first time here, you might want to go back to my 4 Start Here videos. They're basic things on how to measure, how to draw, why I use the graph paper and what that all means, and then some basic design. So if as you're watching this video, you're a little bit confused about why I'm drawing things the way I am, go back to those first 4 videos and check that out. But today I want to revisit a video that I did a few weeks ago, and it was called Closet Comparison. If you saw it, it was a past client of mine was visiting her sister, and her sister had a closet company come over and do a design for her. My client, since she had worked with me in the past several times, kind of sort of thought the design wasn't very good. So she sent it to me to check it out. And she was absolutely correct. It was not good. And so I designed something else. And now they've gone to step number 2, and they had some cabinet makers come over, or some construction guys come over and give her bids on building the closet out. And so I wanted to go over that today, because there's always really interesting things that happen when you're not totally in control. And so since I'm not the designer there with my own company installing the closet, of course, it's not going to get done exactly the way I had prescribed, right? Which is totally fine. And that's part of what I want to talk about today. So let me refresh your memory. Let's go back to the, to show you what I did. And if you didn't see the other video, that's no big deal. I think you'll get the gist of it by the time we're done with this. So this was the original design and closet. This was the design from the other company that my client sent me, which we all know we hated that design for so many reasons. 42-inch wide drawers, absolute no. All right, so then this was the design that we came up with. Her sister loved it. And this is the main wall here. Oops. This was the main wall. This was just an alternate. And then there was another couple of elevations for those two. But this was what we came up with. So this is what they had in mind when they called a couple of contractors to come out and bid this closet out. So contractor number 1, which is not unusual, came out, and I think both contractors said they do their own designs. So contractor number 1 came out, and this was the design that he gave them. And thank goodness they had already had the design that I did based on the inventory and our discussion, because this design is probably worse than the first. Shoe shelves in the corner. A drawer's there and a drawer's here. Now keep in mind, you walk in this closet this way, the door opens this way. Why would you ever put a dresser behind the door when you've got this beautiful long wall here? Sometimes I don't know how to think through the way these contractors are thinking through, but I just want to throw something out there. I'm not going to be nice. Just because you know how to build a closet does not mean you know how to design a closet. For all you people that are out there thinking that just because you know how to build a beautiful cabinet like that, yes, that's a skill I don't have. I'll never claim to be able to build a cabinet like that. But that does not mean you know how to design a closet. So if you are a cabinet maker or a handyman who does closets, please put your ego aside and teach yourself, get some schooling, get some learning on how to design closets properly. This, thank goodness they knew, again, because they had the design that we had talked about, that this is a terrible design. Shoes in a corner, clothes hanging out in front of them. A 54-inch long shelf. That is no better than this mess. That's exactly what you get when you've got that kind of long shelf with no structure to it. This is what is the purpose of doing a custom closet if you're going to give somebody a 54-inch long shelf mess. And then shoes that go around the corner, we'll go over the closet mass later, but these two sections here are the only hanging that she's got in this gigantic closet. And we could see she did have quite a bit of hanging. So luckily they said no to this guy and called another person. And so this is the design that the other person came up with. And let me see if I can get this to turn. Oops. No. Okay. So if you guys can visualize this, here is the design. It's upside down. But here's what this person did. He put the shoe shelves here. Here's our doorway. Here would be the door opening. And actually, I've got another drawing of this. So I think we'll just go to that. So here is that the next person's design right here. So he's got shoe shelves here and then the two drawers here. Very similar to what I had, except for I didn't turn the shoe shelves. Turning the shoe shelves like this is fine. You don't gain that much space. I didn't feel like she needed more double hanging than I was already giving her, and that's really what you gain. If it was me, I would rather have this wall here for some hooks, maybe even a small mirror, something like that. But this is not bad to turn these this way and then have the two sets of drawers side by side, very similar to the way I had them. And then what they end up with is two double hangings, which is fine. I actually, you know what? I did this wrong. I didn't have a double hanging here. I had done a mid hanging here. Now, I don't know for sure if this person that did this second design did an inventory for her or not. My guess is he didn't, because I don't know if he would have given her enough mid hanging. It looked to me like from the pictures that I had that she had quite a few dresses or longer sweaters, things like that. But again, rods are adjustable. So this is not the end of the world because this could always be converted. This is the only long hanging that he gave her. But you can see that when they saw this design, my client knew that that this contractor knew what he was doing. He basically laid it out correctly. He didn't necessarily want to look at the design that she had purchased anyway. So either, which I find odd and very kind of interesting. You can do, if you're the client and you've gone to the trouble of hiring a closet designer like myself to design something for you for a space, and you have a contractor come in who says, I refuse to look at it, that's up to you. I think it's kind of silly, but here's the other thing. Because they already had that design, they knew what they were looking for. And to me, that is the key. They knew that the other one was bad, so they didn't waste a ton of money from somebody that just knew how to draw a picture that looked all fancy, and this looked all fancy, but would have really in reality been a terrible design. Okay. And so here's the other thing that I want to point out. So far for this one closet, we've essentially got 4 designs. And I want to show you how different a closet can turn out just based on the design. So in this case, I'm just going to talk about the hanging because I think that gives you um, a big enough contrast to figure out that what I'm constantly preaching, that you need to do your inventory and know what you're going to store in the closet, is really the most important thing. So in the first design from the closet company that we all hated, there was 330 inches of hanging. 90 inches of, it was actually not even mid, it was long hanging, which she for sure did not need. 90 inches of long hanging. I don't know if I've met anybody who needs that much long. But anyway, there was 330 inches of hanging. In my design, there was 190 of double, 69 mid, 30 long, and a total of 289 inches, which I think is a lot more realistic. And I showed you the math on that last video. So if you have questions about that closet math and how I determined that that would be the correct amount of hanging for her, you can go back and watch that. This design that I think is probably the worst design of them all, potentially, only had 204 inches of hanging, which probably, which was only 36 inches of long, 168 double. I don't know that that would have been enough hanging for her. So besides the fact that it was, blasting in her face the minute she walked into the room, I don't even think it would have been enough. It would have been very tight. Okay, and then the design that they ended up going with had 420 inches of hanging. So it has a lot of hanging. And again, I don't think it has enough mid hanging. So my guess is that some of this will be turned into dresses. But it does have the drawers. He did put a laundry in underneath that space. Oops, you can see it right here. Sorry, it's sideways, but here's the drawer section. So it's drawers on one side and the other, and then the laundry was going to go here. And that works out just fine. He did go 5 drawers high, so she's still getting 7 drawers, which is nice. But then you can see a lot of double hanging. He was able to also go up 96 inches, so she's getting a lot of height. So like I said, these rods will be adjustable. So at some point, you could put a rod in a shelf there. You could potentially even change one of these. And I did point that out too. So maybe they'll even have him change that as he's building it out. But he was able to show them some closets that he's built in the past. He used very nice materials, and so it was obvious that he knew what he was doing. And she promised to send me a picture when it was all said and done. So we'll look forward to that. But you can see we've got 420, we've got 330, we've got 289, and we've got 204. So we will see how much hanging she really needs. But I hope that this shows you, the difference that you can get out of the same exact closet from 4 people who think they know how to design closets. At least 2 of us do. I'm not sure about these 2. This person probably knows how to build beautiful closets, but whether or not they know how to design, I would highly question. Thank goodness she went with this one. All right, you guys, that's what I've got for you today. I hope that kind of gives you an idea that there's not a one solution to this. And so knowing the inventory, again, is the most important part. I have created a worksheet and, a quick little thing, a visual to go with the video. I want to say it's number 1 or 2. Sorry, I can't remember, but it's one of the Start Here videos. But you can download that inventory anytime if you're doing, especially if you're doing like a master closet. I go over how to do an inventory in five simple steps. It's a free download. The link is going to be below this video, so you can do that. Yeah, so what are you struggling with? What kind of closets are you trying to design that you're having trouble with? Where are you in the process? What's holding you up? I would love to hear all the questions. Let's talk about closets. And if there's other spaces, I think I've talked about pantries, mudrooms, a couple other spaces now, but we can keep going in that as well. Yeah, so we'll just keep going. Thanks so much for joining me. Again, I'm Kelly Levine, the Closet Coach, and happy organizing. We'll catch you next time. Take care.